What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and I would like to wish a very happy Sunday to the Houston Astros, to their fans, to all of us. We did it. We won the World Series. So good morning to the Houston Astros and nobody else except for everybody else. It's a weird morning. I'm putting this video together on Sunday morning. The time change, we fell back. I don't know if I'm still living in the euphoria of the Astros winning it all or whatever, but we're here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. On Sunday morning, through the fog, through the haze, we got some interesting news. NFL Network reported early Sunday morning, again, early, late, depending on your assessment of the time change, that the Cowboys are reportedly interested in free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. This is obviously very exciting. Now, there's another piece of this report that we have to kind of understand to be able to compartmentalize all this information together, and it was buried in the NFL Network report. According to NFL Network, the Dallas Cowboys tried to trade for Denver Broncos wide receiver Jeudy before this past Tuesday's deadline. So, what do we know so far about the Dallas Cowboys, or what have we really learned over the course of the last week? Because what we know so far, what we know through 8 games on the season, is the Cowboys sit at 6-2. It's that they have the best defense in the NFL. Their franchise quarterback has returned. They have one of the best run games in the NFL. And they need some help at wide receiver, right? We all are excited about the future of CeeDee Lamb. We all are excited about what Michael Gallup can offer. And obviously, we all understand that he's still coming back from his torn ACL. But the Cowboys really kind of have some question marks beyond that. Do we really believe in Noah Brown? And I say that lovingly and with affection. I think Noah's been one of the more surprising players from the first half of the season. But do we really trust him as a third option, as a starter, when this team is operating out of 11 personnel? Do we trust that role or that opportunity to Simi Fehoko when he's not on injured reserve? Do we trust it to James Washington, who we really haven't seen? I think, we're willing to, and we've done some videos about this. I've done some videos talking about how the Cowboys have earned the benefit of the doubt, and I still believe that. But are we willing to trust that on a large level, on a macro level? Are we willing to say, you know what, James Washington, this can work? Because it's not like we saw James Washington through a lot of training camp. It's not like we saw James Washington through any part of the preseason. He got hurt early on. And so I understand the hesitation. I do think, again, I don't mean to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I think it's fair to trust them, but I think it's also wise and smart to hedge your bet. So we know that the Cowboys were reportedly in on Brandin Cooks, obviously the Houston Texans. That did not come to pass because the Texans, in their infinite wisdom, the wrong team in the city of Houston, shout out once again to the Astros, but the Houston Texans reportedly wanted a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and for the receiving team, the team trading for Cooks, to take his $18 million fully guaranteed salary for next year. And that just was never going to happen. The Cowboys, like every team in the NFL, were very smart to not do that deal. We don't know the specifics on what the Denver Broncos wanted for Jeudy, but you have to imagine it was a pretty sizable sort of request. And so the Cowboys are not in the business of making a massive move of selling the farm, so to speak, to get somebody else. But they do, you can make an argument that they need somebody else. And that's where we come back here to Odell Beckham Jr. Odell is a free agent, obviously won the Super Bowl this past season with the Los Angeles Rams, obviously somebody who we know very well from all the years he played in the, obviously, Big Apple, whatever you want to call it, with the New York Giants. And I think if you're a football fan, you know Odell. And I think a lot of people still mistakenly think that all he was with New York was just that one catch. Odell was a phenomenal receiver. He was one of the very best receivers in the NFL with the Giants. Got traded to the Browns, and things just never really took off with him and Jarvis Landry. Had a lot of success. You can make an argument. Many people have said in the almost year since that he could have won MVP of the Super Bowl had he not gotten hurt in the middle of that game. Obviously, it would go to Cooper Kupp. And so I like this. I like this idea. I understand people think that Odell might be toxic for the locker room, whatever the case may be. The thing that convinces me on that note, Von Miller is somebody who we obviously greatly respect as it pertains to NFL players, right? We all wish that the Cowboys had signed Von Miller in free agency this past offseason, right? We're all very happy with the Cowboys defense, but this Cowboys defense with Von Miller would be even better. I'm not trying to relitigate that situation, but we all trust the opinion of Von Miller, right? Von is somebody who, vouches for Odell Beckham Jr. Everybody who's been affiliated with Odell over the last few years seems to vouch for him. He's somebody who did not impede the Rams in their quest towards winning the Super Bowl a year ago. So I think that might be a bit of a reputation thing from the past for Odell. Obviously, he's had some situations and circumstances that weren't great or weren't glowing. But I think we need to let that go. And I think the Cowboys are smart enough, and I think Mike McCarthy oversees a culture that is strong enough that they feel obviously solid enough in the idea of bringing Odell Beckham Jr. in that, they're considering it. And I think it's important to note that this was an NFL Network report. This was an NFL Network report that, and this came from Mike Garafolo, Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero. Tom Pelissero, very famously close with Mike McCarthy. If you recall, when Mike McCarthy was re-entering the hiring cycle in 2020, he had the McCarthy Project was what it was called. Tom Pelissero was one of the reporters, one of the national ones, who went to his barn in Green Bay, showed everybody everything that Mike McCarthy had been working on. Tom Pelissero had an exclusive interview with Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott last year at training camp in Oxnard, California. Again, if you just kind of follow the paper trail here and connect the dots, Tom Pelissero is somebody who is very close or seemingly very close when it comes to reports concerning the Dallas Cowboys. So this isn't just some sort of throwaway thing. Now, this could be, obviously, Odell is reaching a point where he is seemingly ready to re-enter the NFL. From a health standpoint, obviously, the initial reports were that he'd be ready in November. Now it seems to surround the idea that he would be ready in December. So maybe this is a using the Cowboys as leverage sort of thing, but it doesn't seem like that. I mean, it all seems to make sense. It all seems to check out. This isn't, normal second week of free agency when the Cowboys are interested in Ndamukong Suh, and it's just like a random kind of thing. Like, how could that happen? No, this makes sense. The Cowboys have a massive need. Michael Irvin was on 105.3 The Fan, recently, and noted Odell's interest in the Cowboys. Odell has an interest. The Cowboys have an interest. The Cowboys have a need. Odell's a worldwide, very famous public figure. Obviously, playing for the Cowboys is beneficial in that sense. The Cowboys are also a very good football team who can feature Odell. And a wide receiver group of CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Odell Beckham Jr. is something that we can get very, very, very excited about. And this Cowboys offense took a very positive step last week against the Chicago Bears. And if you add Odell to the mix, I mean, it is hard not to let your imagination run away from you when it comes to this Cowboys and their potential as far as this season. It's really exciting. And so I don't know what's going to happen here, but I do think that this is very logical. And I know that sometimes, part of us says, well, it's too logical. It's too obvious. It's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. It does kind of make sense, though. I mean, and it just kind of seems right. It seems like they're all kind of ready for this to happen. So I don't know, but I'm very excited about the prospects of adding Odell. But I do believe, at the very least, because now we're at a place where Odell's been connected to the Cowboys as a free agent in a very real and literal sense, obviously, as of Sunday morning. The Cowboys were reportedly interested in trading for Brandin Cooks. The Cowboys were reportedly interested in trading for Jerry Jeudy. It is very clear and obvious that the Cowboys are looking under a lot of rocks, right? And I don't think a team that is connected to three different names over the course of less than a week is not going to do something. And so obviously we're past the trade deadline, so it's not like the Cowboys can trade for somebody, but it does feel like they want to add somehow, some way to their receiver group. And if you're going to do that, right, and if we kind of play out the process of elimination of available players or available avenues of acquisition, you can't trade for anybody. So anybody who's on a current NFL roster is unavailable to you. And this is a team who very clearly wants to improve at the wide receiver position. Who's the best option for them? It's Odell. I mean, it's literally Odell Beckham Jr. He offers the highest upside. He offers the highest reward. I mean, there again is a bit of an argument that he offers a bit of a risk, but I think you can mitigate that based on the culture that you have built in your current locker room, in your current building, the way that the Cowboys have. And so if this happens, holy crap, watch out. But we are officially on Odell watch. So everybody go check all the things that he's liked on Instagram. Go check all of his liked tweets. We're just on complete and total Odell watch for the next, I don't know, few weeks. But exciting times. The Dallas Cowboys are off today on Sunday, so enjoy all of the NFL action that you partake in. If you watch this after Sunday, I hope all your fantasy teams won. I hope you enjoyed the day. I hope if you're an Astros fan that you're just as happy as I am. We did it. We won it all. That's kind of it. So Odell and the Cowboys. That's exciting. Look, all right, you might have gotten sick with my Astros talk, but let's just think about it this way. The city of Philadelphia is really sad in a sports sense because of my Houston Astros. That's step one. Step two comes Christmas Eve. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a lot of fun. If Odell's there, I think we already like the Cowboys' chances, right? Most of us, and I'm not trying to say the Eagles aren't that good of a team. They're a very good team, but I think we really like the Cowboys' odds with Dak Prescott under center. If you give me Dak Prescott back, if you put Odell on the team, man alive, it's going to be a fun football team to watch. My name is RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa, on TikTok at RJ.Ochoa. You can shoot me an email, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com. You can always leave a comment down below. We'll get to those also. Have a great week 9. Enjoy it all. Like I said, good luck to you in fantasy or whatever else you got going on, Survivor Leagues, things like that. We will see what happens. Thanks. I hope you have a great dinner. Hope you have a great lunch. Hope you have a great breakfast. Whatever your next bite of food is, I hope it's amazing. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.